Arsenal will be looking to bounce back after their first loss this season. Tonight they host CHARLTON ATHLETIC in the Continental Tires Cup. After 11 consecutive wins this season, Joe Montemurro's side will be looking for a win. We are currently still leaders in the WSL table and top of the Continental Tires Cup in Group D, where CHARLTON ATHLETIC currently sit in third position. West Ham United are currently level with us on points in the Conti Cup, but we lead on goal difference. I know one person who will be confident tonight is Beth Mead, who was just recently voted Player of the Year. And I caught up with her to talk all things football and all things Christmas.
I was 6 when I first ever started. I live in a village, and I went to a local village Saturday morning that a man voluntary ran. I actually was very energetic, and my mum actually took me to get rid of a bit of energy. The man said the boys were rough, so I needed to be careful, but when my mum returned, she was like, yeah, Beth's a bit more rougher than the boys, so just went from there. And he actually advised me to go more towards the Middlesbrough area, because where I live is quite rural, and I actually went there and trained at Middlesbrough for quite a while, then moved on to Sunderland, and then ended up at Arsenal.
Kid, so that Saturday session you first started off doing, was you literally one of the only girls there, or was you the only girl?
I was the only girl there, yeah.
I was expecting you to say that, because out of all the women footballers I've spoken to, they always say that growing up playing football, they always had to play in a boys team first. So how do you feel like the journey's progressed for you now? How was it coming up through grassroots football as a woman?
Yeah, well, obviously I played for a boys team growing up, so I mean, for me, it actually helped develop me as a player, but now there's a lot more opportunities for girls. So you've got RTCs, which help young girls come up through the systems. They can come into the development age group, and then obviously try and work their way into first teams. But there's a lot more pathways, there's more opportunities, there's more people interested, there's more volunteers, there's more everything. So for people to be able to get involved at a lot easier than it was when we were younger.
It's becoming a nice pathway for young girls to get into a professional career. So how would you say, I know you've mentioned the ropes to get to where you are today, but do you think now it would be a clear route, not a clear route, but how easy would you say it is now for young girls to get into a career professionally?
Well, obviously when we were kids it wasn't actually a profession, so actually for kids starting now, they know that they can do it as a full-time job if that's what they want to aspire to do. So the opportunities are there, the pathways are there, and it is a lot more clear than it was than we were kids. So we were playing it as hobbies. Yeah. People can now play it as a hobby to then want to play it as a full-time job. So there's a different mindset, I suppose, also.
Yeah. One more thing before we get into the Christmas spirit. Yeah. If you could choose one player, male and female, that you would love to play alongside, who would it be? First of all, female.
Okay. I always wanted to play like Kelly Smith. Yeah. I looked up to her as a kid, and actually came to Arsenal and she just retired, so that was a shame. I didn't get to, just missed her.
Not even training?
No.
Oh.
So yeah, that was a real shame, but yeah.
Probably a charity match one day.
Yeah, maybe. I missed out on that one actually. They played a charity match and I was injured. It's not meant to be, apparently.
It will happen. What about a male player? And not Messi or Ronaldo?
No. Do you know who I always liked? Thierry Henry as a striker. Unbelievable. I'm actually being biased because of both Arsenal. Yeah, Thierry Henry was unbelievable. So relaxed in front of goal. Everything he touched just went in the back of the net. And I'd love to have him alongside me up front.
Yeah. Who wouldn't?
Yeah,
who wouldn't?
This is true.
All right, so it is now the month of Christmas.
Yeah.
So I would love to know, as a child, what was the best present you ever received?
Do you know what? It wasn't even a present to me. It was this robot that just danced around on the floor, but my brother was scared of it. And a robot.
I used to love those. Was it the puppy one?
Yeah. And they used to dance and stuff, and my brother was scared of it, so I used to put it near him and try and scare him.
I loved that.
That was so much fun to scare my brother.
But what's on your Christmas list this year?
It's a hard one. My mum asks me what I want now, and I'm actually realising how old I'm getting. I'm like, makeup, facial stuff, and I'm like, perfume. I'm actually quite boring now, and you're struggling to want. I'm like, I've got everything, and it sounds like, oh yeah, you've got everything, but stuff that I need.
It's such a difference from when you grow up, though, isn't it? Everything just changes.
Barbie, I want this pony. I wish I could still, but no, I still get excited for Christmas Day just as I was as a kid, to be fair.
In saying that, what is your favourite part about Christmas?
We actually are. So I'm 23 years old and my brother's 20. Yeah. But we both sit on the bottom step and wait to see if my mum and dad check if Santa's been there.
No way, you're joking. Are you joking? That's so adorable though. Like you cannot let the tradition die.
No, we're still doing it. We've got pictures every year from when we were kids doing it.
I would love to see those one day. Yeah, like the whole catalogue we've got over the years.
Yes, one.
Oh, it's been amazing talking to you, Beth, and good luck for the rest of the season. The game finishes 5-0 here at Bournemouth FC. Arsenal are back to winning ways and they have firmly secured their place at the top of Group D in the Continental Tires Cup. Come on.